Hi, in today's Node.js video training, we will be learning about Node.js file system module. The Node.js file system module allows you to work with the file system on your computer. To include the file system module, use the required method. Common use for the file system module: read files, create files, update files, delete and rename files. Let's first look at reading files. The fs.readFile method is used to read files on your computer. Assume we have the following HTML file located in the same folder at Node.js. Assume we have a file called demofile1.html. Let's create this file first. Okay, demofile1.html. Okay, and we have HTML and we have body tag. Within body tag we have h1, say my header, and then we have a paragraph tag. We can say my paragraph. That's it for the HTML file. And now let's code the Node.js file that will read this demofile1.html and output the results to the browser. So let's create the project file, node file system module1.js. Okay, first we need to create an object of HTTP and require the module HTTP. Second, we need to create file system object and require file system module. Then we are going to create a HTTP server object so we can serve the request coming through the browser on port 8080. Okay, and now we can say res file system dot read file, and we can mention the file name demofile1.html. Function error data. And within this read file method we can say res.write head, send 200 to the browser, and content type is text HTML. You have res.write. This is the content of the files that are coming from the demofile1.html, and we are sending this data to the browser. Turn res.end. That's it. Let's save this file, and I'm going to run this file that we just coded. Okay, and now we can run the browser. Okay, so I can say localhost and colon 8080. See, we have the same file demofile1.html in the web browser, and it is served by the Node.js server. So this is the code. First of all, we created HTTP object from the HTTP module, then we created the file system object from the file system module, and then we created our web server that is listening on port 8080, and then we use the file system read file method. We passed in the file to be read that is demo file1.html, and within that function we are sending the response to the browser, response 200 status code, and the content type is HTML, and we are sending the data from the demo file1.html, and we are ending the response. So this was about reading files in Node.js. Okay, let's see how to create files in Node.js. The file system module has methods for creating new files: fs.append file, fs.open, and fs.write file. The fs.append file method appends specified content to a file. If the file does not exist, the file will be created. Let's create a new file using the append file method. Okay, I'm going to stop the Node.js server. Okay, and I'm going to create a new file for our next example. Okay, and within this example we are going to require file system, require fs.append file, and my new file.1.txt, and this is the content that will be written within this file, and then the function which will handle if there is an error. Okay, say if error, and throw error, otherwise console.log, and say saved. Okay, now let's save this file and go to the browser, and I'm going to run this file, node file system module2.js. You see we have got saved on the console as an output. So let's check the directory contents, and you see we have a new file called my new file1.txt. Let's see the contents of this file, and you can see the contents are hello content. These are the same contents that we wrote to the file. So this is a very simple and straightforward example of writing files in Node.js using the append file method. Okay, let's look at the next method, fs.open. The fs.open method takes a flag as a second argument. If the flag is w for writing, the specified file is opened for writing. If the file does not exist, an empty file is created. Let's create a new file using the open method. I'm going to create a new file for this, node file system module 3.js, and first things first, create a file system object, require the file system module. Second, call the open method of the file system object and pass in the file name that we are going to create, and the mode will be w, that is writing. Then we have a function with error and file params, and we say if error, throw error, otherwise we say console.log, and we say saved. That's as before. So this code will create an empty file because we didn't mention any content or anything else. So let's run this example, node file system module 3.js. Okay, you see we have a new file called my new file2.txt. Let's see the contents of this file, file2.txt, and the file contents are empty. Okay, the next method is write file. The fs.writeFile method replaces the specified file and content if it exists. If the file does not exist, a new file containing the specified content will be created. Okay, let's create a new file using the writeFile method. For this, I am going to create a new project file, file system module 4.js. We will f equals require fs file system object. We are going to use the writeFile method of the file system, and I'm going to pass in the file name, and this is the content. This is the content which will be written to the file, and the error handler. Okay, if error, throw error, otherwise console.log, say saved. Okay, yeah, let's run this program. File for module, okay, saved. See, we have this new file. Let's print out the contents of this file. My new file 3.txt. We have the content as this is the content. This is the same content that we wrote within this new file. The next topic is updating files. The file system module has methods for updating files. That is fs.append file and fs.write file. The fs.append file method appends the specified content at the end of the specified file. Let's append this is my text to the end of the file, my new file 1.txt. Okay, let's create a new file for this. Node file system module 5.js. fs is equal to require fs dot append file. Yeah, append file, and we're going to give the name of the file that already exists, and I'm going to say this is my text, and then the error handler, and if error, throw error, otherwise updated. Okay, save the file, go to the console, run the file, node file system module 5.js, updated. Okay, there is no new file created, but it has appended the content to our existing file, my new file 1.txt. So this is the new content that has been appended to an existing text file. The fs.writeFile method replaces the specified file and content. Let's replace the content of the file my new file 3.txt, and going to create a new file for this. Example, node file system module 6.js. This equals require fs, and can say fs dot write file my new file 3.txt. This is an existing file, and I'm going to say this is my new text. Okay, and the error handler, if error, throw error, otherwise I'm going to say console.log replaced. Okay, because we are replacing an existing file. Node file system module 6.js replaced. Let's check out the contents of our file that has been replaced. You see, we have the replaced text that says this is my new txt. Okay, let's look at how delete files work. To delete a file with the file system module, use the fs.unlink method. The fs.unlink method deletes the specified file. So let's say we want to delete a file, my new file 2.txt. We just need to create a small file, file system module, and 7.js. First will require fs, and this time we are going to call delete file, not delete, sorry, unlink method of the file system, my new file 2.txt, and the error handler. If error, throw error, otherwise console.log deleted. Okay, let's save this file, and before I run this example, let's see the contents of our directory. You see we have an existing file here that says my new file 2.txt. This is an existing file and we are going to delete this file. So I'm going to run node file system module 7.js. Okay, and it says deleted. Let's check the contents of our directory again, and you see the my new file 2.txt is no more in our folder and it has been deleted. Okay, let's see at renaming files. To rename a file with the file system module, use the fs.rename method. The fs.rename method renames the specified file. Let's rename my new file 1.txt to my renamed file .txt. Okay, create a new file for this. Node file system module 8.js, or fs equals require fs, and the function is rename. Let's pass in the source file name 1.txt, yeah, and the name of the target file, my renamed file.txt, and the error handler. If error, throw error, console.log renamed. Okay, that's it. Save the file, go to the console, run the program. See, we have an existing file, my new file 1.txt, and we are going to rename it to a new file name. Okay, it has been renamed. Let's see the contents of the directory, and you see my new file 1.txt has gone and we have a new file that is called my renamed file.txt. So that was done by the rename method. This was all about the Node.js file system module. I hope that you have understood the concepts of file system and how it works with Node.js. If you liked this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. See you next time with a new topic in Node.js.